So I wanted to share a little bit of a sort of personal story, which those of you that know me or have taken my classes know that I tend to steer clear of sharing sort of personal anecdotes in class. I typically read from some other work of philosophy or poetry, and I try not to kind of get into the personal, but I thought in this case it might be interesting to share, and I would love to hear some of your stories as well. So I wanted to share my sort of journey with veganism in the hopes that it will either inspire you or inspire you to tell your own story. I usually shy away from telling sort of personal anecdotes in class. Usually I'm either reading from a text or sharing sort of more philosophical ideas or questions. But in this case, I thought it would be fitting for us to share some stories together. So, interestingly enough, I was drawn to being a vegetarian when I was much younger. I tried to be a vegetarian when I was in middle school and high school. But, my family wasn't, and none of my friends were. In fact, I didn't know a single other vegetarian. So it was a little bit tricky because I didn't really exactly know what I was doing or what, to eat or how to sort of navigate things. And then I kind of got to this one phase in college, maybe it was junior or senior year, when I just sat down and ordered something with meat in it. And I had a few years where I was eating meat again. And I'm not exactly sure why. I just maybe don't remember where that decision came from. But then, lo and behold, many years later, I find myself at Jivamukti. A little bit by accident, if you believe in accidents. And I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just sort of, showed up to a morning class, thought it was all very interesting, loved hearing about philosophy while doing all this physically challenging stuff. So I liked the combination of that sort of rigorous philosophical insight along with this like rigorous physical experience. But I didn't necessarily link the vegetarian thing up yet until I signed up for teacher training. And then, back in those days, we had the choice of reading we read Yoga Sutras, we read Hatha Yoga Pradipika, we read Jivamukti Yoga book, we read, and then the last book was a choice. It was before yoga and vegetarianism came out. It was a choice of a vegetarian / vegan book. And I had chose John Robbins' Diet for a New America, which is a fabulous book. It still stands the test of time. And when I see it in used bookstores and stuff, I pick up extra copies because when people express interest, I like to have an extra copy to hand them. Not in a pushy way, just if they ask me. If they ask me for the information, then I have the information there. Anyway, I was preparing for teacher training, doing all my readings, and I was about midway through that book, and I just thought, there's just no way that I can justify it. There's no way I can sort of make sense for me of eating meat and dairy. And so I knew this was the end. I knew I had to do it, and teacher training was coming up, and so I thought, that will just be teacher training day 1 will just be my first day vegan. And I slowly like cut back until I arrived at teacher training. And that's sort of what happened. But for me, it kind of made sense already. I had already been a vegetarian, and so I knew that it just made sense in my heart, and I just needed more information and more people and a community, and I needed to know just a little bit more about it. And of course, now it's gotten so much easier to do than it was in the past. Hey, Sunny, stop it. Stop it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't pull on that cord. That's for the camera. That's for the camera. We need that right now. He is a bundle of energy, I'll tell you what. Anyhow, so yeah, that's my story. So this coming April 28th will be my birthday, my Jivamukti teacher training anniversary, and my veganiversary. So it's a very important day for me, a very special day for me. Oh, he's at it again. Anyway, that's my vegan story. I would love to hear about y'all's stories. So if you would like to share, if you're comfortable sharing, please share in the comments or in your own video about, you know, what brought you to veganism, what maybe book or movie or what insight sort of made it all click for you. Let me know.